Today on Bridge City News, we have an update on the investigation into the motives behind Friday's mass shooting in Virginia Beach. Prime Minister Trudeau met with Burnaby's mayor and made a surprise appearance at the city's annual summer festival. And some good news for wildfire evacuees in high-level Alberta, as officials will begin allowing residents to return to the town tomorrow.
Your nation, your province, your southern Alberta. From the heart of Lethbridge, it's Bridge City News with Paul Arthur.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Cardston RCMP are asking for public assistance in locating a 14-year-old youth missing since last night. Zachary Bevins was last seen at approximately 7 p.m. yesterday evening, leaving his Levitt area residence for a quad ride. When Zachary failed to come home, his family contacted police. RCMP Air Services and volunteers are searching the area. He was last seen wearing blue jeans and a gray sweater and was driving a red quad. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Zachary is asked to contact the Cardston RCMP. The annual Gutsy Walk took place today at over 60 locations across Canada to raise funds for raising awareness of Crohn's disease and colitis and to research for a cure. Over 270,000 Canadians struggle with the autoimmune disease, which causes the body to attack itself, leading to inflammation of all or part of the gastrointestinal tract. It was a great day for the Gutsy Walk here in Lethbridge at Henderson Lake Park as they aimed at raising $46,000 locally. The Kinsman Club of Coaldale held their 10th annual Carnage in Coaldale Demolition Derby this weekend. The event, which includes a car derby, truck derby, a mud bog, along with live entertainment and food, draws big crowds every year. The Kinsman Club of Coaldale has raised well over $250,000 over the last 9 years to support local causes and will add to that total this weekend. RCMP in Alberta are thanking a member of the public for contacting them after an Amber Alert was issued, helping bring a safe end to the incident. The alert was issued early yesterday for 3 children aged between 9 months and 4 years, who police allege were abducted from a residence in Fox Creek and were taken in a vehicle. Police say the vehicle was later spotted on the side of a highway north of Sylvan Lake, more than 300 kilometers away, and that the mother and 3 children were found. The children were unharmed, but taken to hospital as a precaution. Police say charges are pending against the woman. Some welcome news for those in the high-level area as the Mayor, Crystal McAteer, made an announcement alongside Alberta Premier Jason Kenney this morning that residents will be allowed back into the town tomorrow morning.
We have some excellent news today. We want to tell everybody that yes, you can come home. We also want to tell everybody that we have a re-entry package available for you when you come to high level. The entry gates will be open, coming from the north and coming from the east, starting at 10 o'clock.
Grocery stores, gas stations, and banks will be open tomorrow. High level will, however, remain on evacuation alert, with residents being warned to be ready to leave on a moment's notice, as weather changes could still put the town in serious danger. Meanwhile, the BC Wildfire Service says more than 130 personnel are being sent to Alberta tomorrow to assist with our wildfires. 137 people, including 116 firefighters, will be deployed in Alberta for up to 19 days, while a crew of more than 260 that was sent to Alberta earlier in May will return later this week. Other personnel will also be heading to the Yukon area to tackle growing wildfire threats there. Pharmacists say it's time for Canada to restrict access to over-the-counter codeine as the country grapples with an opioid crisis. There have been renewed calls to limit access to low-dose codeine products, including Tylenol 1 and its generic counterparts, since a pharmacy in Saskatchewan was disciplined for failing to understand how the drug can be abused. Codeine is an opiate used as a painkiller and to treat coughs. The much-awaited final report of a national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls will be released tomorrow. But there is already a leak. The Canadian press has learned the report says Canadian society has shown an appalling apathy towards addressing the issue. The inquiry's commissioners reach a highly controversial conclusion that the apathy, quote, amounts to genocide. Their report urges all actors in the justice system to build working relationships with Indigenous peoples. Huawei is pushing ahead with a strategy to increase wireless internet service in rural and northern Canada, despite the political controversy surrounding the Chinese company. Richard Fadden, a former national security advisor to the Prime Minister, says everything Huawei does is susceptible to being used by security authorities because of a Chinese law that says organizations must assist with national intelligence investigations. While debate has focused on whether Huawei should participate in building 5G networks, its already extensive presence in Canada's 3G and 4G networks is sometimes overlooked. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau met with the Mayor of Burnaby, BC yesterday and also made a surprise appearance at an annual summer festival. He made a short election-style speech after stepping onto a fire truck.
I'm here in Burnaby because Terry has been talking about Hats Off Day for 3.5 years now to try and get me to come out and see this extraordinary festival and thank all the amazing people in Burnaby who've been working so hard and succeeding in creating a better life for themselves and their communities. We're going to keep focusing on making sure that life gets better for Canadians as we've worked on over the past 4 years. We've managed to see Canadians creating 1 million new jobs over the past few years, and at the same time, we've seen 825,000 people lifted out of poverty across the country, including 300,000 kids with the Canada Child Benefit. But it all has to do with having a government that is focused on you, focused on listening to you, and mostly focused on empowering you to be able to build better lives for yourselves and your community.
Burnaby's Mayor Mike Hurdy says he told the Prime Minister that his city is taking all the risk for the potential twinning of the Trans Mountain pipeline, saying there's a risk of fire, which the federal government has to take seriously. And he says this initial meeting with Trudeau isn't good enough, and he wants to sit down with experts. Officials in Virginia Beach held a news conference today as they continue to investigate what the gunman's motives were for Friday's massacre that killed 12 at a municipal building. City Manager Dave Hansen told reporters that the suspect had notified a superior of his intention to resign on the morning of the shooting.
One of his longtime colleagues said that he had put in his 2-week notice shortly before the shooting. Is that true?
I got it. Okay, yes, sir. Yes.
It is true.
He was resigning?
Yes.
Can you confirm that his direct supervisor is among those who died, Richard Nettleton?
He was not his immediate supervisor, but he was in the chain of command.
Did you give any reason why he was resigning? Did he write a letter of resignation?
We are determining where that letter is.
Can you say when he submitted it?
He notified his chain of command that morning.
The morning, Friday.
Yes.
And he wasn't or by email?
My understanding is he did that via email.
He was not forced to resign?
Negative.
Was the resignation over a position that he was applying for and did not get?
Not to my knowledge. To my knowledge, the perpetrator's performance was satisfactory, that he was in good standing within his department, and that there were no issues of discipline ongoing.
We're looking as deep as we can into motives from work, personal motives, professional motives, motives that could have happened. Right now, we're in the process of doing all this. Right now, we do not have anything glaring. At this point of the investigation, we do not have any of the information that he was targeting anyone specifically.
The family of the shooter has reportedly left a note saying while they are grieving the loss of their loved one, they want the focus to be on his victims. Pope Francis is in Romania today. The pontiff presided over Mass at a stadium in the capital, Blush, where he announced the beatification of 7 Greek Catholic martyrs. The 7 bishops were arrested and imprisoned between 1950 and 1970 for adhering to their faith. Francis is expected to hold them up as models for the Romanian faithful. A hulking cruise ship has slammed into a tourist riverboat and a dock on a busy canal in Venice, Italy. Local media is reporting that at least 5 people were injured in the early morning crash on the Guideccia Canal, a major thoroughfare leading to the famous St. Mark's Square. Video of the crash shows the cruise ship ram into the much smaller riverboat and then careen into the dock, sending stunned and frightened onlookers running. Recapping one of our top stories this hour, good news for wildfire evacuees in high-level Alberta, as officials will begin allowing residents to return to the town tomorrow. However, the area will remain on an evacuation alert. And to look at weekend weather, the extra hot temperature today will bring with it a risk of an evening thunderstorm. The overnight low will be quite warm at 16. For tomorrow, mainly sunny and hot with a high of 29 degrees. We all get stressed out over some things from time to time, and some of us can get stressed to an unhealthy degree. Gordon College is a certified life coach practitioner with some advice on how to properly deal with stress. Hal Roberts has that interview next, but first, here's a look at what's happening in and around your community.
Here's your Bridge City News community calendar. Kick off your summer with Alberta Blue Cross and Silverberg Group's Street Eats Festival on Saturday, June 15th, beginning at 11 a.m. at the NMAX Center parking lot. Enjoy delicious and unique food truck cuisines, a kid zone, entertainment, and an eating contest. This event is in support of Lethbridge Family Services. For more information, visit lfsfamily.ca. Devil's Coulee Dinosaur and Heritage Museum, located in Warner, Alberta, is now open until September 2nd. Take a tour of the Dinosaur Gallery, heritage exhibits, and military displays. Visit Charlie the Baby Dinosaur, dig in a simulated bone bed, and see an actual nesting site. For more information, visit devilcoulee.com. And that's your Bridge City News community calendar.